We are now in the Mount of Beatitudes. This is one of the most important places because the Sermon on the Mount was spoken here. What's so important here? First of all, we can see here the whole Sea of Galilee. When Jesus left Nazareth, he came here. We are standing right next to the coast of the northern west coast. And most of the miracles, as we said also in Chorazim, were done around the Sea of Galilee, but many of them were done in the villages here, in Chorazim, in Bethsaida, and in Capernaum that we see just underneath us. We are in the Sea of Galilee, and we are wondering why Jesus chose to come to this place and not, for example, Jerusalem. So first of all, we know this is an agricultural area. We know there were fishermen villages, and Jesus spoke mainly to the multitudes, to the people, to the poor, to the people that worked. And we know that 6 out of the 12 disciples came from those villages. So we understand that in that time, when Jesus came to the world, he was challenging the Jewish institutions because he said, I am the Messiah. Things that at that time, the institutions, of course, didn't like. So he comes here, and another reason is a geographical reason. The Sea of Galilee was just next to what we call, it's a crossroad, and next to the very important international road called the Via Maris. So from here, that was like the connection between Africa, between Asia, and between Europe. So it was a place that a lot of people came here and could hear his preachings and then spread it all over the world.
Laura.
Hi, Lisa.
So here we are again for another tour. We're at the Mount of Beatitudes in the Galilee, and Laura is going to be taking us, Ilan, from Amnun, which is where I live, overlooking the Sea of Galilee. Today we're going to be going on a trip to the Mount of Beatitudes, an important site for Christians around the world.
And this is a very important site, not because we found ruins here and not because the church we see is a very old church, not at all. It was built in 1937. But this place is a high mountain that overlooks the whole of the Sea of Galilee from Matthew. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee and from the Decapolis and from Jerusalem and from Judea and from beyond Jordan. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Lisa, please.
The Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for the righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall be obtained mercy. And blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the makers, for they shall be peace, children of God. Blessed are they who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Important, and it's nice to know that this Sermon on the Mount is mentioned in the 4 Gospels. This is one thing. The other, you can imagine the idea of choosing a high mountain is a bit reminding us also of Moses when he stood up in the Mount of Sinai and came with the Ten Commandments. So we are entering now the church. This is a Franciscan church. It was constructed in 1937 by an Italian architect called Antonio Berluzzi, who also planned some other churches, important churches around Israel. What's special in the church is not what we are going to see inside. It's actually a very modest church because we are talking about the Beatitudes, okay, talking about modesty. So, but the important thing is what the place we are in, where we see the Sea of Galilee, also from inside. Let's go in. This is an octagonal church representing the 8 Beatitudes, and not like in other churches, they made the windows especially to be in our height, that we can look and see the Sea of Galilee around us.
I just want to point out that beyond the church, and of course the many, many prayer sites that exist all around the Mount of Beatitudes, which are wonderful places for meditation and to read from the Gospels. Behind me, you'll notice that there is a building, and that is a Christian guest house. And pilgrims come here from all over the world and stay in these quarters and will base themselves here as they tour around the Sea of Galilee.